All right, sorry. Let's watch some of the video.
Yo! What? Yeah! This is awesome. Oh my God. Okay, by the way, $100,000, you would be screaming like that too. $100,000 a week? Don't even. $100,000 a week, you'd be screaming. You'd be like, I hate you, crazy. Sell Disney's a homosexual man. Oh my God, bro. $100,000 a week, bro.
Do not worry. Your 100K check will clear soon.
Oh, that's crazy. Who came out with a statement about being a pro-Russian propagandist, a paid pro-Russian propagandist. Yeah, it's not just Tim Pool, it's people with Tenet Media. This indictment alleges that right-wing commentators like Dave Rubin, Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, and Lauren Southern, as a part of the Tenet Media YouTube channel, have been unwittingly working for a Russian influence operation. Two people described in the Tenet indictment as unnamed founders were very aware that their operation was funded by Russians. Tennessee Business Records list Tenet's founders as Blaze TV's host and TPUSA contributor Lauren Chen, aka Roaming Millennial, and her husband. Now, let me tell you something, okay? I have not tried to any of these people in this indictment, but the number one defender of Ukraine, who kept saying I was a Russian dissident or a Russian operative, has. You couldn't have asked them why they were doing pro-Russian propaganda and how much money they were getting paid when you were trying to Lauren Southern, or when you were trying to Roman Millennial, when you were doing buddy-buddy conversations with these people, Destiny? What happened? This is also, it doesn't matter, vindication or not, it doesn't matter, because the people that are so invested in me being a Russian op, like a Russian operative, not a Russian opposition, are so invested in that they will never listen to reason. They've already made up their minds. They've watched all the YouTube commentary videos from these dumbasses who kept saying,
well, the problem is that if you're a progressive or like a socialist, when progressives and, well, not even progressive, when you're a socialist or maybe more Marxist, communist, whatever, your only claim about Russia is, generally speaking, about USSR policies, about how they valued education, transportation, technology, science, all that other shit, housing first. But for some reason, if you ever praise any policy ever from Russia, it means that you want Russia to kill all of the Ukrainians? Which I don't understand how that works. It's the same with China. Yeah, if you try and ever talk about anything good about China, it's like, oh, so what you're saying is you think Xi Jinping should just murder as many people as he wants and he should take over the US and we should live with no freedom of speech ever, no matter what. It's like, well, when you talk like that, you make a strong case for the argument, okay?
like I was pro-Russia from the jump. They will still continue with the investment that they've made. But I just want to point out, seems like who are pro-Russia got. Seems like who are paid propagandists got. A new DOJ indictment that it alleges that RT employees covertly funded and directed by a U.S. company with $10 million in order to push pro-Russia content. The company's based in Tennessee. There is one media company based in Tennessee with the same phrase listed in the indictment. The Canadian entity that owns Tenet Media, of course, is owned by Lauren Yu Sum Tam, also known as Roaming Millennial, Liam Donovan, on the board of directors. Or was it Roaming Millennial? Is that what her name was? Am I saying that right? What the was her name? Lauren Chen. You know, people that
China does.
Destiny is definitely cozied up to over the last couple of years. It remains to be the truth that Canada is not sending their best. They're either sending their worst or they're sending their best in some instances. But like usually in the realm of politics, Canada is sending their absolute worst. The indictment specifies that two of the people who work for this Tennessee company Tenet were deceived, meaning they didn't know that the Russian government was running an influence op. Dave Rubin has 2.4 million subs and Tim Pool has 1.37. So the two people that were deceived, I guess, for a license, Kalashnikov Afanasieva, founder one and founder two, worked together to mask U.S. company one's source of true funding, RT, by falsely portraying to commentator one and commentator two that U.S. company one was sponsored by a private investor named Eduard Gregorian. In truth and in fact, Gregorian was a fictional character. Benny Johnson also almost has 2.4 million, but they apparently rounded down from 137 to 1.3 million with Tim Pool, so I figured Ruben's 2.4 million to 2.4 was the same. Helena Shudra shared with US Company One a video of a well-known US political commentator visiting a grocery store in Russia. Afanasieva posted the video in the producer Discord channel. Later that day, producer One privately messaged founder 2 on Discord. They want me to post this, referencing the video that Afanasieva had posted, but it just feels like overt shilling. Thinks we should put it out there. Producer One acquiesced, responding, all right, I'll put it out tomorrow. Now, what I find really funny about this is that, like, why are we not doing this for Israel as well? Because that would, of course, mean literally virtually every top level media.
Sorry, I was eating one of these rice crackers. I mean, crackers. And I didn't want you guys to hear my munching. I'm actually very scared to know how much money Israel has put into content creators pushing out IDF propaganda. I feel like it's in the like tens or hundreds of millions, and I don't want to know, and I don't maybe as much as Russia. Yeah.
Commentator would be in the crosshairs in this way. Most of our politicians too. AIPAC gets to operate without ever being hit by FARA on a regular basis. What's that about? AIPAC just spent $20 million to oust 2 progressive lawmakers, and Israel was caught running a $2 million influence campaign, but you'll never hear Russiagate stenographers utter a peep of protest. Yup, it's true. Isn't that purely because Israel's an American ally and Russia is an American adversary? Is Israel an American ally? Do they seem to be operating like an ally recently? Because it doesn't feel like it. I don't know. What you're saying doesn't make sense, because then Bob Menendez would be free right now. So would Henry Cuellar. Bob Menendez's crime is that he got payments from Egypt, another American ally. Yeah, Eric Adams in trouble for getting payments from Turkey. Some legwork in this thread on identifying the other unnamed and very lightly masked commentators in this incident. Matt Christensen. Doesn't this guy hate me too? I feel like I've seen this guy make videos about me. I remember watching a video of his. Look, all I'm saying is, for all of the liberals who are super pro-NATO, who spent a whole litany of time talking about how pro-Russia I am, even though I fundraised for Ukrainian refugees pretty early on, it seems like all of my enemies who despise me are named in this. So if you have ever found yourself personally aligned with any of those people mentioned, maybe you're not pro-Ukraine and instead simply using a horrifying situation like the invasion of Ukraine to your immediate advantage. Ops taking hard L's again. 100 P. Tim Pool got 100K per episode and Ruby got $5 million per year. That is crazy money, by the way. Once again, grifting to the left is not a real thing. Grifting to the right, however, very, very profitable. Good money to be made there. Russians wanted them to post the Tucker Carlson grocery video, but they always thought it was too obviously shilling. Lauren Chen said to post it anyway. The Russians wanted to blame the ISIS Moscow attack on Ukraine. They got commentator 3 to do it.
Sorry, this is so funny. This Guardian editor that had to find a picture of Tim Pool posted some random guy with a beanie. I want to believe it's real. No community note. It has to be real. I need it to be real. Guardian editor sees a guy wearing a beanie. Ah, must be Tim Pool. U.S. conservative influencers say that they are victims of Russian disinfo campaign. Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, and Benny Johnson addressed allegations that a company they were associated with had been paid to publish videos with messages in favor of Russia. Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, and Benny Johnson addressed allegations that a company they were associated with had been paid. No, it's real? I hope this guy did it on purpose. I really, really hope this guy did it on purpose. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's so good. Hold up, let me like that tweet. Where were we?
If Dave Rubin is commentator 1, then I think Johnson is 3, and vice versa. To be clear, whether or not Benny was commentator 1 or the others, neither I nor the indictment are claiming he knew that he was working for the Russians. The question is whether he should have known or suspected is both philosophical and harder to prove. A statement of the Leo. Oh, they all have statements coming out. Oh, they have statements coming out now. My statement regarding allegations of the leaked DOJ indictment. Should these allegations prove true, I, as well as the other personalities and commentators, were deceived and are victims. I cannot speak for anyone else at the company as to what they do or to what they are instructed. Let me explain something to you guys, by the way. I get asked to do ads in the political realm all the time, especially during election cycles. Now, they're not paid propagandists for like a foreign government or whatever, obviously. That would require an additional layer of stupidity. But beyond that, why the are you taking ads from any political operatives whatsoever? Why are you taking ads to be pro a certain political position? Isn't that exactly what you're supposed to be against? It doesn't matter that this is like pro Russia. Even if it was like pro gun laws or you know, pro guns, you shouldn't be taking that ad at all.
Well, the best part about I guess like the entire shit show that is this recent information leak, I guess, is one, what did you think was going to happen when you got ousted as taking money for your political views? Because I think as a commentator, that's like the one thing that you're not supposed to take money from or like for. Feel free to shill as much coffee as you want, shill as much gold bars as you want, shill as many fucking buckets of slop as you want. That's fine, sure, yeah. Because people like Tim Pool always talk about how, you know, my views are my own and no one is impacting me and no one is telling me what to say or to think and blah, 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 blah. But then you took money to say all this shit. Dave Rubin doesn't surprise me again. Like I said, doesn't surprise me at all that he said this. Statement on the DOJ indictment. These allegations clearly show that I and other commentators were victims of the scheme. I knew nothing about any of this fraudulent activity, period. People of the internet was a silly show covering viral videos that ended 4 months ago. The DOJ has never contacted me regarding this matter, and I have no intention to comment further. The screenshot directly from the indictment speaks for itself. And we have here... It says Founder 1 and Founder 2 also worked together to deceive 2 online U.S. commentators. Well, this is a statement that would be prepared by the legal team that Rubin hired, no? Right? I would have to see. I would have to actually sit down and read it and see if this is from the prosecutor's perspective or not. But anyways, who respectively have over 2.4 million and 1.3 million YouTube subscribers. Founder 1 and Founder 2 with Commentator 1 and 2, contracted with Commentator 1 and 2 to produce videos using Commentator 1's and Commentator 2's own names and leveraging their existing audiences. And then here it says Founder 1 and Founder 2 worked together to mask U.S. Company 1's true source of funding, i.e. RT, by falsely portraying to Commentator 1 and Commentator 2 that U.S. Company 1 was sponsored by a private investigator named Edward Grigordia, whatever. In truth and in fact, he was a fictional persona. For example, during contract negotiations, Commentator 1 requested that Founder 1 provide a profile or article on him. In response, Founder 1 sent Commentator 1 a one-page profile provided to Founder 1 by a fictional persona purporting to represent him. So, I'm sorry. So, let me get this straight. This company, this Russian-funded company, reaches out to Tim Pool and Dave Rubin and all these other people. Okay? And they say, don't worry about it. It's actually funded by some private investor, Edward Girafo. Okay? Don't worry about it. And then they say, hey, well, can we get some more information? And they print out a fake page on the guy. And they're like, no, look, trust us. Here he is. We're representing this guy. No. Trust us. He can't meet with you personally and tell you why he's giving you millions of dollars to spread this narrative. But you can trust us. He's real. Here's this photo we found that we totally didn't generate. And here's a little bio we wrote for him. Don't worry. What? 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 Yeah, you're so cooked, blindly passing along disinformation, propaganda, big pictures all coming together. Did you post things for money without fact-checking or questioning the things you were posting? Hey, Dave, give the money to a charity or a fund that helps Ukraine. Don't be a coward. Tell us about it. When did they contact you? Did you suspect anything? What did they ask for? How much did they pay you and what for? I think upping your game on due diligence might be a good idea. This is, I guess it's an interesting strategy to say, well, Your Honor, we took millions of dollars from this company to push Russian propaganda, and we didn't question it at all. So we were the ones who were deceived, actually. What? Also, I don't know how well it plays out for your audience to be like this political pundit and to be tricked so easily. To be like, well, we didn't know any better. But you should listen to our political opinions, even though we get deceived so easily. What? Obviously, you know, pick your poison. You either are complicit in spreading Russian misinfo, in which case you are not a source to be trusted, or you don't check your sources well enough if the paycheck is big enough. Which is also bad. Which is also really bad. Man.
Is wrong with you? You're supposed to be independent media. So I don't do this. Aren't you supposed to have your own independent opinion on subject matters? Why are you taking money from a group, even if they're not pro-Russia, even if it was just a regular, homegrown American political group? Why are you taking money from them to say certain things? How should any of your fans ever believe you ever again for the rest of time? Will you be paid for this take? Will you actually be telling your genuine opinion on this take? Do you agree if it was a pro-Ukraine ad? Yeah, even then. What do you mean? Even then, if you're a political commentator, you should not be getting paid by pro-Ukrainian media either. What the Either way, that's why I said if you're a Republican and you're getting paid by like a gun group or whatever, even if you're pro guns as a Republican, you shouldn't be getting paid by a political group overall. Never at any point did anyone other than I have full editorial control of the show. And the contents of the show are often apolitical. Examples include discussing spirituality, dating, and video games. The show is produced in its entirety by our local team without input from anyone external to the company. TCW is a separate company not associated with timcast.com or other properties. It exists solely for the production of the Culture War podcast. That being said, we still do not know what is true, as these are only allegations. Putin's a scumbag. Russia sucks donkey balls. And to the
they know it. But I don't know that it matters anymore. This is Psychotic. Ukraine is the enemy of this country. Ukraine is our enemy, being funded by the Democrats. I will stress this again.
Sorry, I said I really need to see the clip now.
They know it. But I don't know that it matters anymore. This is Psychotic. Ukraine is the enemy of this country. Ukraine is our enemy, being funded by the Democrats. I will stress this again. One of the greatest enemies of our nation right now is Ukraine. They are expanding this war. Now, don't get me wrong. I know you've got criminal elements of the U.S. government pushing them and guiding them and telling them what to do. Ukraine is
paid to be really mad. 2 years. Jaeger
is now accused, a German warrant issued for blowing up the Nord Stream pipeline, triggering this conflict. Ukraine is the greatest threat to this nation and to the world. We should rescind all funding and financing, pull out all military support.
Paid Russian psyop says what?
Paid Russian op says what KKW.
Amateur thing you're
And we should apologize to Russia. And they know it.
Oh my god. It's way worse than I thought it was. Oh shit. Cuz I know that it's a common talking point for conservatives in general to be like, "We can't fund these wars. Stop giving out this free money. Democrats are trying to run our country into the ground and ruin this country by giving money to wars we shouldn't be in." Which we've been doing that for how long? For forever. So, yeah, okay. I thought it would be like that. I thought that would be the farthest he would go. Just like, this is a total waste of US dollars. We should be spending this money on Americans, blah, 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 blah. But this is like, not. Ukraine is the enemy of this country.
But I don't know that it matters anymore. This is psychotic. Ukraine is the enemy of this country. Ukraine is our enemy, being funded by the Democrats. I will stress this again. One of the greatest enemies of our nation right now.
That's insane. This is his statement that he pushed out. Looks like he did it yesterday at 4:30. My statement regarding allegations in the DOJ indictment. Should these allegations prove true? It's like the second sentence. You're not instilling me in with a lot of confidence saying, should these allegations prove true? Your Honor, I thought I was being paid by an American company to say nice things about Russia. Glacy, thank you for the 25 months. The worst part about all of this, by the way, is like, Tim Pool doesn't even need the money. I low-key, I get someone taking this because it's like a free $100K a week or whatever. Sure. It's like, dude, I got bills to pay. Okay. But like, he doesn't even need the money. And also, long-term planning, by the way, this doesn't look good on your political career or whatever. Listen, I say stupid shit all the time on my stream, but all my thoughts are my own. Every word out of my mouth, I can assure you, my own. I have gotten paid. I've gotten paid very little. I got paid to sponsor a VPN company for like $400 2 years ago. Okay. And that's it. That's about it. And I got paid, I don't even remember how much, pennies for this protein cereal. That wasn't too bad, honestly. That's it. That's what I've gotten. Okay. So every other stupid thing I've said on here, it's mine. Okay. I take full ownership. But the thing is, it's fine to take sponsorships from like companies that produce products, right? Because you're just telling people, hey, if you want to try this product, try this product. Getting sponsorships for your political views when you are already just fucking swimming in money, when you have enough money to buy a skate park because you're having a midlife crisis, when you have when you have skate park purchasing money, why the fuck are you taking money from a company to tell other people to be pro-Russia? Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? Oh my God. He needs the money. He's so poor. He always has to wear that ugly beanie indoors. It's clearly not enough money to heat the studio. Guys, he's literally balding and a neurodivergent person, okay? He needs the money. Think of the implications of what else he may have taken money to say. Oh yeah. But this is also probably why his family hates him. You think his beanie is sponsored? Maybe that's why he can't take it off. He's working for Big Beanie. Anyway, sorry. I got so distracted. Let's read the actual comment. Should these allegations prove true, I, as well as the other personalities and commentators, were deceived, and we are victims. I cannot speak for anyone else at the company as to what they do or what they are instructed. The Culture War podcast was licensed by Tenet Media. It existed well before any license agreement with Tenet, and it will continue to exist after any such agreement expires. The only change with the agreement was that the location of the live broadcast be moved to Tenet's YouTube channel. I and TCW never produced any content for Tenet Media. Never at any point did anyone other than I have full editorial control of the show, and the context of the show are often apolitical. The Culture War podcast? It's called the Culture War podcast. It's apolitical. Cinema. Oh my god. Examples include spirituality, dating, and video games. Things that never become political, ever. Things that historically have never been politicized in the history of ever. Spirituality, which is what, one hair removed from like religion, historically never political. Dating, something that has not been politicized at all. Also, who the fuck is watching Tim Pool about dating? Maybe the show is just like, I'm a loser and you'll never be as much of a loser as me, so go out there in the world and date. Maybe that's what the show is, in which case I think it'd be pretty effective. And video games? Yes. Video games that have never been politicized ever in the history of ever. To be fair, Tim is correct. Here's his take on modern dating. It's a what not to do in dating. I feel like I watch this clip at this point once a week, but it's still funny every time.
I can't possibly have babies because of climate change. You know.
Right, which is nonsense.
No, of
But I
course.
do think it's crazy that I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. Because my dad had 2 kids by the time he was 27.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, you know what the problem is, though? It's definitely not me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's everybody else.
Yeah. I can't possibly have babies because of
I just can't. It's just too good. It's just too good. Oh. Snow Crab Bandit. Thank you for the tier 1. Thank you. All time? Yeah, like that and like the 49 state landslide clip from Tim Pool. Peak. The show is... Okay, that being said, we still do not know what is true, as these are only allegations. Putin is a scumbag. Russia sucks donkey balls. Oh, did your mommy write that one for you? And to the journalists who wish to jump the gun, create their own narrative, or lie about what's currently going on, you can eat my Irish ass. Dude, you have to have one first. Last time I checked, you repping that Hank Hill, so like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, dude. Be fucking for real for 2 seconds. Please. We all know you do not go to the gym. He's also not even Irish. Maybe it's a manner of speech. I don't know. This one's also really funny. To the journalists who wish to jump the gun. Saying this when there's currently a lawsuit against you for assuming that the shooter of a active shooting situation was someone that it wasn't. You're literally in a lawsuit because you claim to be a journalist and you jumped the gun. So good. So good. Wasn't he claiming to be Asian American at one point, did he? Motherfuckers trying to Ariana Grande this shit. Anyways, let's watch it.
Journalists who wish to jump the gun, create their own narrative, or lie about what is currently going on. You can eat my Irish. If you're serially so stupid that you didn't realize the 100K per episode you demanded to spread Russian propaganda wasn't coming from Russia, the DMV needs to revoke your driver's license and you can't be trusted with household appliances. Like, I just saw a guy giving me $100,000 to say nice things about Pootie Poo and I took it. Like, what? I think Tim Pool, now that I know his educational attainment, like, unironically might be that stupid. The only funny thing about this is that, like, paying Tim Pool $100,000 to be pro anything is automatically a waste of resources. Lest you ever think actual people pay to listen to Tim Pool, 90% of all of their revenue literally came from Russian shell companies. No, this is like one aspect of his entire production, I think. Tim gets multiple revenue streams. Tim himself gets revenue from his own channels as well, so the Russian money wasn't 90% of Tim's revenue. I think it was 90% of his revenue for the one entity that he created. Wait, what? He got paid 100 grand per week? Oh my God, bro. 100 grand per week?
Ukraine is the enemy of this country. Ukraine.
Hey, yo! What? Yeah!
It's so good.
This is awesome. Oh my.
It's really funny that lefties have been called Russian paid ops for forever. For forever. And in reality, it's never. Leftists are too annoying to take money to say shit. Always. Always have been, always will be.
Oh my God. Okay, by the way, $100,000. You would be screaming like that too. $100,000 a week? Don't even. $100,000 a week? You'd be screaming. You'd be like, I hate you, crazy. Sell Disney's a homosexual man. Oh my God, bro. $100,000 a week, bro. That's crazy.
Ukraine is our enemy, being funded by the Democrats. I will stress this again. One of the greatest enemies of our nation right now is Ukraine.
Bro, this is like mathematically the worst position to arrive at. Like, what do you mean? Like, people say I'm a shill for Russia because I'm always like, bro, we need to do a ceasefire. America's interests in Ukraine are not genuine. All they want is the continuation of war so they can like dump all of their older weapons. Like, ultimately, we need to come to the table and do a ceasefire. Like, I never once would say Ukraine is the enemy of Russia. That's insane. Bro, they got no autonomy in this. I'm sorry. The people on the Democratic Party side that consistently talk about how like, well, this is what the Ukrainians want, are literally just straight up lying. Because if everyone in Ukraine said, no, we don't want to do war, what the we need to do a ceasefire immediately. We hate being slaughtered. America would still be like, okay, well, you know, what if it was okay for a couple more people to get slaughtered, you know, because we really like the situation right now that we're in currently. We love that you guys have, you know, destroyed half of the Russian artillery. I mean, it wouldn't take much before the CIA literally puts a psychopathic, like rabid right-wing ultra-nationalist in power if Ukraine actually changed trajectory, I think. But again, this proves the point that I was making, which is giving Tim Pool money to be pro anything is such an L for whatever your cause is, dude. I love that.
Criminal elements of the U.S. government pushing them and guiding them and telling them what to do. Ukraine is now accused, a German warrant issued for blowing up the Nord Stream pipeline, triggering this conflict.
Okay. This is actually really instructive. Why did he say triggering this conflict? Bro, they blew up the Nord Stream pipeline after. That's number one. And number two, literally, I think he's reading a script. This is instructive. Match what he's saying here with my commentary to understand the difference in opinion, okay? If you want to know what someone who is like pro-Russia shill, literally getting paid to be pro-Russia, versus someone who's like, yeah, nah, dog, I think it's probably America that blew up Nord Stream pipeline and not mother Russia, okay? Because it makes zero sense whatsoever. Like, even when people used to clip the thing that I talked about with like the Crimean bridge, Ukraine blowing up the Crimean bridge. Yes, it is still an attack on largely civilian infrastructure and therefore could be considered an act of terror, but it's still born out of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So it's still ultimately in the hands of Russia. They would, of course, clip the second part out and say, Hassan says blowing up the Crimean bridge is an act of terror. I would literally compare it to what Russia does in terms of like attacking civilian infrastructure, which is unjustifiable. They would clip that part out to make it seem like I was simply saying that Ukraine is doing terror or whatever. There's a difference between that, my analysis, which still lends the blame in the hands directly of the responsible party, Russia, versus this guy being like, Ukraine is the number one enemy of America. Ukraine has a valid interest in freeing their borders, violator of their sovereignty, the most moral and understandable and righteous cause. Our interest as the United States of America in Ukraine, not exactly in the same level of infallibility. Just want to offload our old ass equipment so the goddamn military industrial complex can turn a profit, all while not a single American active duty service member is harmed in the process. It's a win-win. Insane to call Ukraine your enemy. How the are they your enemy? They were invaded, dog. Yeah, they were just sitting there looking pretty, waiting to be invaded by Russia. They are the enemy, the biggest enemy. Bro forgot about like all the other things that he could be talking about on a daily basis, like China or Iran. Also stupid to say, but like Ukraine being the biggest enemy is awesome. I say right-wing grifting is obviously an incredible.
Meltzer. This Fantano tweet. Fantano quote tweeted this post from Yashar Ali saying, the original post reads, news, the U.S. Department of Justice alleges that Tenet Media, which has Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, and Dave Rubin on the roster, I think also Lauren Southern, received $10 million from the Russian government to publish content as part of a Russian influence operation. Tenet is owned and controlled by Lauren Chen, who is affiliated with Turning Point USA, and her husband, Liam Donovan. Full announcement and indictment here, which I would like to read some of this maybe. And Fantano quote tweeting it saying, Tim Pool using millions of dollars in Russian cash to buy a silo full of beanies that he dives into like Scrooge McDuck. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. So good, dude. Also, dude, Lauren Chen is gonna be so fucked. Lauren Chen is so... She's gonna be so cooked after this. Especially people bringing up some of her older tweets. This one, someone saying, if you did, you'd be advertising. We aren't stupid. Lauren, have you posted your excitement for it? I haven't seen it. I've seen a lot of Trump enthusiasts tearing RDS for this move late. And then her saying, LMAO, just because you're being paid to make your full-time job shilling for DeSantis doesn't mean we all are. Some of us are paid to shill for Russia. Thank you very much. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Denims, that Fantano tweet is bold on bold violence. You're so right, actually. It's fucked up, but you're actually so right. Not cool, Fantano. Not cool.
Incredibly fortuitous endeavor. And this proves it once again. Was a Russian asset. Before people say, Hassan, you like certain people that used to work for Russia Today. I do. Abby Martin used to work for Russia Today. Back in the day, Russia Today was not the Russia Today it is now. It definitely still had those same elements, but pre-invasion of Ukraine, Russia Today used to do this very interesting thing where on the 1 hour, they would have like someone who is like militantly anti-imperialist. The next hour, they would have someone who is like insanely right-wing. Just so you guys understand, like their goal was to cause as much chaos and confusion in American politics. Of course, that's the point of their media campaign in general. It makes sense. America does it all the time. What do you think Voice of America is? Having said that, there was a time when Russia Today had like the funniest lineup of commentators where they would have like the anti-imperialism hour with like Abby Martin followed up by like, are the Democrats transing the youth? Dude, I love this. Benny Johnson. Oh my God. This comeuppance is fire, dude. By the way, when you see these names, Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, Lauren Chen, Lauren Southern, remember what I always tell you. You can tell a lot by a man and their political opinions by seeing who their enemies are. There have been a litany of supposedly leftist political commentators that have on me for years and years and years. Spent a whole lot of time doing that, as a matter of fact. And I never really responded in kind. What you have to remember is that's because I thought it was unproductive to on those guys, because sometimes we're in alignment on certain issues. I spent my time on these guys, okay? Because I think it is really stupid to try to farm a Nazi groped up base of support by on like random trans influencers on Twitter, or by on random leftist influencers who also had a lot of smoke for me. You know what I mean? I am not a deeply unserious person who's only invested in the drama. Just remember that. Know beside whom you stand and know who a man presents himself as the enemy of. Great stuff overall. Really cool. Love the story in general. Big fan.
This is a big day for leftists, I'm gonna be honest. Because most of the time, being a leftist just kind of sucks. It just kind of sucks. And everybody is just like, I feel like as a leftist, you get accused of taking, money from corporations, even when you aren't. Because people on the left are so scared and scarred and burned after dealing with so much dog shit from mainstream media. That RFK thumbnail is really disturbing and distracting. It's pretty good. I want to watch this video real bad. Oh my god, dude. I just... I want to find this, so apparently the Tenet media, it was Lauren Chen and her husband who were giving money, millions of dollars, to, people like Tim Pool and Dave Rubin, etc. Oh my god. This is so funny.